just fake it. I only know how to pull myself apart. I never thought I'd go this far, but of all the scars, it's over now. Run away, out of time, find a place where I can never hide. I let it burn, change, or even try. Let it burn, I'll never be coming back, 'cause I'm losing my mind. Don't call my name, don't wait for me. I will not play this dirty game anymore. I never thought I'd go this far, another day, another to score. I never thought I'd hurt so bad. I pray to God instead it's over now. Run away, out of time, find a place where I can never hide. I let it burn, change, or even try. Let it burn, I'll never be coming back, 'cause I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind, running out of time. I hope it's a party will save me. I'm losing my mind, running out of time. I'm hoping somebody will save me. Out of time. Find a place where I can never hide. I let it burn, change, or even try. Let it burn, I'll never be coming back. I let it burn, I'll never be coming back, 'cause I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind.
In the realm of psychodrama, we only know one thing works. That's right. To give them the flux. To give them the flux.
These rappers is shucking and jiving and stuff, getting themselves in the shit that they can't get out of. Fucking up, here go the flux. A display of lyrics and patterns and rhythms by Side and Young Buck.
For viewers' discretion is only factual, non-fiction, homie. The ruler, the thumb sticking out 'cause you know me. Federal, pimp lock the block, you can't hold me. Situation getting heavy, ammo get low, need my homie, what's up?
Well, your homie right on you, you know from the side. Go with that on these bitches, it's devious as we gon' get on this shit. Let's talk, let's not sit on this shit. We the shit on this shit, they just spit on this
So
shit.
much psychodramatic, havoc, get this bit crazy, the range you with it, this shit. Buck inside is the physicist. Belligerent, feel it, 'cause we ignorant. Nigga, y'all in it, the flux is the subject of weight and adrenaline, the feel of bitch. Side the medic, buck the relic, and drama that did it to him once again. Chance that you get, change to your face, and the blood to the covers, undisputed bitch.
And again and again, to the end of the pen, be worse than this and again 10. I'm feeling thin. From birth, saw the light of the earth, and I've been fucked up since then.
Now,
This
for all your
fusion,
wrestling
clenching,
news
the
and
might get that bitch
rumors, here are two
conclusions.
people who will talk about
Chicago's
any and
fucking
everything you want to know in the business.
Introducing
BiggOh and Mid-Mo Smart. This is the BiggOh Wrap-Up Show, right here on BiggOh Gaming. And of course, you know what BiggOh says. If you got it, spark it.
What's going on, mofos? What's good? This is the BiggOh Wrap-Up, episode 12. Man, 12 episodes already, man. I know I combined 10 and 11 together, but hey, that was a big-ass week, man. As right now, man, listen, I want to bring in my two people, my two bros, none other than my bro from the Mo, Jermaine, a.k.a. Mid-Mo Smart, and the boy down here, my bro down here. Ladies and gentlemen, It is Hologram, man. What's going on, guys?
Not much.
I've arrived. I'm finally on your show.
You have arrived.
He has arrived. He has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, OTS OG down here, man. We are all OTS.
That's
OGs.
right.
Otis, I've been meaning
For the
Go
most
to.
Club. Hashtag Go Club. You know what I'm saying? You know, we up in that
Yeah.
thing, you know.
Gold Mike Club.
But yeah,
I've been
man,
meaning
I
to collab
appreciate
with you for a minute,
it.
and when you started your channel, life took a turn for me, so it's been a long time coming. Thanks for having me.
Word.
Oh man, no problem.
No problem,
Man.
man.
Always welcome.
What's
man.
up, Blake?
Man, you know what, Uli? I might have to make you an actual picture in the show, man. You might actually have to, you know, be an actual picture right here. You know, little 3-man group since Rob is dealing with kids at the YMCA.
Well, this will be another. This will be another good little thumbnail spot,
Oh yeah,
or
this will be
whatever
perfect.
you can add to the intro. Add to the
Oh
intros.
yeah, I'm gonna do that. I might revise the intro here just to make sure that happens. So
You guys,
speaking of Rob,
you guys care if I eat while we do this?
oh man, go
Shoot,
ahead.
go for it.
Go ahead. We
Thank you.
eat.
My blood sugar's
We
running
eat.
hella low, and I feel woozy. So,
Hey,
I
do what
literally
you gotta
got
do.
into the I literally got into StreamYard like at 1:30 on the dot. I was racing home. I'm like, I got 2 minutes before I gotta be there. I should have already been there.
That's all good,
sure,
man.
Hey, yeah, it's all good. Glad you can make it, man. Rob, what's going on, man? Hope you're having a good day at work. Of course, Patrick Palmer is up in the building. The bro threw
Hey,
up
we got
the
Patrick
one today.
Mahomes up in here.
Oh, my homie is up in here?
Yeah, my homie, the one and
Oh,
only.
yeah.
My homie is up in here?
Patrick Mahomey.
I get to what's up, JP? Oh,
Yeah, that.
man,
Not gonna
yeah.
lie, that song did slap.
It slaps, man.
Which
I
one?
was rocking the fuck out.
This fire
man.
burns.
Yeah, I love
was
that
rocking
song.
the fuck out, man.
I miss some of the old school OTS songs that JD used to play, man.
Yeah,
it-
got a few of them from
I don't know.
Spotify. I'm gonna have to go and download those and put them on here because those are pretty good. One of my favorite songs that JD used to play a lot was Warriors. You get copyrighted for
Warriors.
mhm.
and oh man, what was the other one? I'm breaking the silence. Like that.
Yeah,
shit,
Breaking the Silence.
Oh, yeah.
That song was a banger.
that
Yeah.
shit went hard. There he is, my
Yeah,
homie.
not much, man.
Congratulations on the Super Bowl. And
And even
because,
then, motherfuckers out
because
there
you were
dodging
cheating.
bullets now.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
crazy. I saw a TikTok
Yeah,
last
I'm glad.
night.
Hey, I'm glad none of
that
y'all
was there.
got injured.
That saw
Right.
the
I'm glad none of y'all got injured. But
Hey, yeah, anybody who
because,
won, glad
because
you're
of all
safe.
that, I am known as Swifty. Yeah, I am
Yup.
known as Swifty because the Chiefs won. So I'm big old Swifty.
At least till Sunday.
Until Monday.
At least till the end of Sunday.
Well, Sunday is the last day to be Swifty. Monday.
Oh, yeah,
when
that's
I'm
what I
back to
meant.
being big old baby. To big old baby, regular style. So, and I know Rob can't wait
I
for
don't
that
gamble.
to. So yeah, but hey,
Yeah,
we
Rob's
got some
all
things
kinda
that we're
sour.
gonna talk about. We got some things that we're gonna talk about in today's episode, man. Before we do, make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, comment, join the conversation, man. Feel free to try to debate us on anything that we talk about because we are an open forum here, man. We are the Bay family,
Right.
and we are better than the Don Callis family, and I guarantee that,
That's
man.
right.
But it's an open forum, man. We're free to say whatever we want. Just don't be disrespectful about it or whatever.
That's
Give us
right.
your logical reason. Make us change our minds because we're going to
Right.
definitely go back and forth on some things. And who knows? I'm sure Hooli and Jeremy can make me change my mind about a bunch of things. You know what I'm saying? I.e.,
Shit,
Roman
bro. I've had
holding
to.
the title to, all that.
I've had to
other
do a
stuff.
lot of mind changing.
You know.
I've had to change my opinion at least twice this week. So I mean, and I was like standing firm on a certain hill. So yeah,
Oh,
like
I
the
can
whole.
tell.
There was a report came out that whether it was to kind of quell the question of curiosity, but they actually did come out and did confirm that WWE did have to pivot because of the backlash that the angle that they were aiming for initially was where they were wanting to go, but uh, it turned out to be a very bad idea,
What up, Rob?
We're gonna
or at
throw up the
least in their
one for
opinions.
Rob. Throw it about right here. Yeah, I'll put it up right there for you. Hey, don't
Right
kill no
here.
kids,
Follow
Rob.
him.
Leave kids alone. But yeah, man, like it's interesting, man. But we're gonna definitely get into all that, man, and a few more, man. Look, I wanna start off with the vegetables before we get into the meat and potatoes. And as far as the green beans and corn is concerned, I want to talk about QT Marshall going back to AEW as an executive,
Wait.
not a
What?
not a not a, a wrestler, but
Yep, that you heard him.
he's back as
You
an
heard him.
executive. He's working in the front office.
Why
So
didn't
all the
he
talk
just
Yeah,
that we was
he
talking
Why
about
didn't he
TK
just
taking some of
transition
that
from the
load.
ring into the back office?
Rocky Romero just got his just got a front office spot. Now I
Yeah,
guess that's just what in whatever capacity. I guess QT knows he's not going to get over with a American audience at this stage in his career, and so at least that's my assertion. So he's going back to doing uh, kind of administrative work. So we'll see. I don't know.
Interesting.
Like
He
say
wasn't
he
in
was the
said
Latin
WWE.
I
American
basically
champion.
said that
Go ahead, Otis.
he was so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
he was the
Well,
Latin
I mean, but
American champion.
we'll see
So
where that goes. But I said that yeah, and I said basically this would be a good way to help TK take some of the load off his plate. You know, help
I
him
hope.
maybe organize the show a little bit better. So, like,
Right.
what you guys think?
I
What you
think
guys
that
think?
they're well, in my opinion, he's aiming a little bit low if he's going to go for QT Marshall, unless he's just getting his old job back. I mean, I think that um, any kind of booking decisions, taking the load off of TK that way is going to alleviate a lot of pressure off his shoulders. Because I mean, Scott Demore, where's he going? Unless he's already in talks with somebody, I don't know. But I mean, it makes most sense. Right. Like I'm cool if he doesn't come back, but I mean, if TK wants him back, wants him there, I mean, obviously was an asset in some way. I'm not going to argue it. But as far as booking decisions, I think that it would almost be uh, TK would be remiss if he didn't even consider the idea.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't know if I personally think Scott Demore would be one of the better options to take that load per se pause off of TK's shoulders.
yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would. It's just a wait and see moment thing for me or whatever, because at the same time, like I told you, Jeremy, I'm like hooligan, like I wasn't really into AEW like that. I just kind of started getting into it after we went to the
Hmm.
show here in OKC. So I kind of started
Hmm.
getting back into it, keeping up with the storylines and what have you that's
Right.
going on there and stuff like that. And it is interesting and stuff like that. But to see what QT could possibly do as far as in the front office area, then I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that. So, Julio, you got
Right.
anything you want to add on QT Marshall or
I'm just
Jeremy?
shocked. He's in WWE for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. He was in the
Yeah.
company
So
for
what
a
was the
long
point? Like,
time.
why didn't you just go from being an in-ring talent to the front office of AEW from the get-go?
Well, I think he wanted to explore his avenues as in ring talent before the end of his proverbial career.
That
Um,
or his buddy Rocky Romero got promoted, so he feels like
Yeah.
he could climb the
Maybe.
ladder faster over on that side.
Hey, that's a possibility too.
Yeah.
Like say a lot
That,
of
that,
things
that,
won't be really clear until later on down the line. But
Yeah, or maybe Rocky even
I
asked
think
him to come over to work with him. Who knows?
I'm not opposed to the idea of
yeah.
him being in the front office because I mean he is a one of the uh, founding members of the company. So not necessarily that
QT,
he's
really?
one of the EVPs, but he's been with the company since its inception.
Oh, okay.
Since they
Okay.
start,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
You're right. You're right.
He's a day
What's
one.
up, Guardian?
Hey, Guardian. Yeah, QT's been with the company like since its basic inception. Since they started doing TV stuff, I think that's just their first or few bits of TV stuff. Like QT was one of the people who was in the forefront, at least
Okay,
administratively. But
okay.
when he started doing his in ring, I was like, really? I'm like he was all right, but I mean, there's only a certain level that QT was inevitably gonna attain, and it
You,
not high enough to make any kind of draw.
you know,
QT is not a draw, and
the
he just
first time I
realized
saw
it.
QT was when he was doing the Nightmare Factory stuff. That was the first time I saw QT,
Right,
and
and bless it.
that was literally the gist of what QT
Mhm.
was to me. I didn't know that he, wanted to dib and dabble in, in the front office and stuff, with creative and stuff
Well,
like
in a
that.
lot of
I'm
cases,
like,
giving him his flowers. W wouldn't be necessarily where they are without him. Just given his all Cody caught me off guard with that new thing. But no, AEW wouldn't necessarily be where they are right now if it weren't for QT Marshall, just in retrospect, knowing what he's done for the company. But do they need him? No. Would he be an
no,
asset again? Very well likely. He very well could. But I mean, as an in-ring competitor, that I don't want to see him wrestle anymore. He's past his prime. There's no reason for him to get in the ring anymore. But like I say, I'm cool with him being
I
in.
look at this like I look at this like this. Now I don't know if you see it like this, bro. I don't know if you see it like this, Hooli, but QT being in the front office is something like somebody that could take the fall if shit goes. Not saying bad or anything, but like if it's bad booking or this and that. Oh, this was QT's idea. You know what I'm saying? Like he might be a person, or he could be
Right,
the one that get praised, get a lot of praise. So it's 50
right.
50. I ain't saying it's gonna be 50-50 booking, but it's you can flip a coin and just whatever side it lands on, it can determine if it's gonna be a good show or a bad
Did
show.
they say what
If
his
QT is
position is going to be?
No, I haven't heard any position specifically. Have you?
So we
yeah, I
don't
didn't
even
hear
know
a
if he's like
position.
going to
I
be
heard
part of creative
executive.
or anything.
I just heard that he's going to be an executive role. He came in. He's coming in as an executive. That's all I heard. That's all I
Well,
heard as far as QT. So, all right. So we're gonna move from the green beans and the corn. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about the carrots now. In this case, Jade Cargill has been pulled from the Elimination Chamber, but she is scheduled to be at SmackDown tomorrow. And I got more news on SmackDown as well coming up here. We're going to segue right into that as well. So,
Teacher, pick me, pick me.
Holy,
nobody wants to
what you
hear
got
what
to
I have
say?
to say.
Holy, go ahead. What you got to say about this?
Well, I saw that this morning, and I've been a big fan of Jade Cargill, even though if you watch my tweets about her, you probably wouldn't get that impression. But that's only because
Right.
of
Same here. Same here.
what.
I actually unblocked her. I unblocked her and sent her a message.
Oh, nice.
Do you mean you block people? You block wrestlers who
You
have
block
fuck all to
wrestlers,
do with
bro,
you?
that don't even know
I did.
The fuck?
who you
I did. I did. I did.
She just randomly goes to
That's
happen to
fucking.
check her block list one day, and she's like, "Who's this big O Bay guy?"
Like,
Starts thinking, "Do
who
I
the
know this
fuck
guy from
cares?
somewhere?"
I
Anyway,
don't know.
what I was gonna say is, I
unblocked.
saw that tweet today, and if they feel, I was actually glad that I read that tweet because clearly there was things that she was doing in AEW that I could tell that she needed a lot of work in. Now, I don't know what kind of training she got in AEW. Obviously, she worked with some
Not
pretty
enough.
good in-ring
Yeah.
talent. Like I know they had announced she was like working backstage with Brian Danielson and some others, but at the end of the day, the WWE has a formula, and if they need to correct bad habits that she got while being in AEW, that's what they're going to do. I feel like this could be one of two things. They either feel she's not ready quite yet, or maybe because of just what's going on, maybe because of the pivoting they had to do with The Rock and Cody, and maybe they're shifting things around and, trying to sort out the next two PLEs that we're getting.
That's
Maybe
a
they
good point.
decide, maybe we want Jade to have that debut pop in America so she can get over with the American fans. Maybe they're
Ooh.
saving her for Mania. I don't know. I think
Yeah,
it's probably
maybe.
more that she's not quite
Yeah.
ready, but who knows? And whatever it's going to be, like, I'm like, as long as she comes out to the ring wearing what she posted on Twitter this morning, ain't nobody going to boo her.
Fucking Jen.
Nobody's gonna boo her.
No.
Nobody.
No.
No. Tony Brown is
No.
going to probably pass out.
Yeah, he's gonna have a coronary from all the cake.
It's good to have
Yeah,
you, Jen. It's good
that-
to have you.
So if they need to,
20 likes already. Holy shit. We barely
Like,
just
I'm
started.
excited to see her debut in
Like 30
WWE
minutes
because I
in.
think that she's going to have a lot of good
Guys are
storylines
savage.
at her disposal when
Yeah.
she first starts in the company. But don't rush it. Like, I saw a bunch of goofy tweets this morning about,
Yeah.
oh, Jade's been in WWE since like October or whenever she got there last year, and she's
Yeah.
been in the Royal Rumble, and that's it. The WWE's dropped the ball on her, and I'm like,
I'm like,
what?
There's a
You
certain
can't
process
just throw
in how
her
you.
into a title picture, especially if she can't wrestle up to
No.
par with the other women,
Mhm.
just because she's Jade Cargill, and they booked her in another promotion like she was Goldberg. It doesn't work like
Oh my
that.
goodness.
Like, I would rather
What's
not
up,
see her
Rage?
on TV for a year and be
oh my God,
wondering,
text
like,
going too
what's
fast.
going
What's up,
on with
Rage?
fucking Jade Cargill, and then when she comes out, it's more impactful as opposed to just rush her right over to WWE, put her right in the mix right away, and then we realize quickly, oh, she's not up to speed yet, and then the fans start calling her out on that, and then she's already behind the eight
Right.
ball right as she's starting. So I'm all for it, because the longer that we don't see her, the better she's going to be when we do see her. That's how I
Thank
look at it.
you. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Very well said.
Thank you. Me
21,
and Jeremy
21,
talked about
21.
this about not that long ago. We talked about this.
Uh-huh.
Don't rush.
She's still
her
green
to
like
do
baby
all
shit,
the
not like
Yes,
money.
man. She doesn't look like she's green
The-
because of her physique, but she's green to the wrestling business. There's a lot that goes
Mhm.
into that kind of stuff. So
Exactly.
give her some time.
The
She's still
Royal
young.
Rumble was a nice.
Oh yeah, she's got plenty of time.
Like the Royal Rumble was a nice start to get her just presented. She got amazing. She got an amazing pop.
She got a massive
But
pop.
that doesn't necessarily that's going to translate overseas when they go to Perth or when they go to Germany. That's not going to translate
right.
well there. Sure, maybe WrestleMania, maybe after that. But who knows? But she is scheduled to show up on SmackDown tomorrow. So we don't know what's going to happen. Perhaps she might get start her first feud, her first.
I think her debut
She's-
is going to be an interference. I don't think she's going to have a match her first time being on WWE on the camera. I think she's going to interject herself. She's got to be put into a storyline that's already currently going.
No,
'Cause who
right.
else-
You can't just say
Yeah,
start.
she's got to come out and decimate somebody that's being pushed towards the title or that's holding the title. So that's what I expect
And
to first see of Jade Cargill, is her coming out and
And you
Batista
see the
bombing
way the
somebody.
AEW was booking Jade and Wardlow when Wardlow was by themselves, they were booking them very similarly. Like they just, and especially Jade, just considering the number of victories that she had, but they were just bringing her out and letting her squash people. Sure, she had some good, maybe, and I'm stretching it, 3-star matches, maybe. But down to brass tacks, no, she's not. She wasn't ready yet. She still is not ready. There's a way that you book these people that are supposed to be powerhouses and of their divisions, and you're supposed to literally book them squash match, like 3 or 4 of them in a row, maybe more, and then somebody like catches wind and starts throwing shade at them, and then they go back and forth. It's building a program, and they're not taking advantage of the situation. At least in AEW at the time, they weren't taking advantage of the different situations when they needed to. Because there were a lot of different instances where both Jade and Wardlow could have had some bit of story with one of their opponents, but they didn't capitalize it on it. And that's the biggest
Yeah,
thing is hesitation from booking complete. So there's you can blame it on Jade and Wardlow equally for their own in ring inadequacies, but it comes down to a lot of the way they're booked as well.
yeah,
And if their dance partner isn't up to the task of carrying somebody who's green and uh, can't be safe, then I mean, how good is your opponent going to look in that case, and vice versa. So I mean, I try not to get. Yeah, I talk a lot of shit and call her green like baby shit and not like money, but there's a reason for it, and it's not
mhm,
all her fault. But I mean, a lot of it is too. It's kind of
yeah.
50-50.
But I
But
think with the way that they're going, like I said, look, Jade had an amazing Rumble entrance. Now, just imagine what her entrance is going to be like when she actually debuts on TV. So the way I look at it, the longer that she's off, the better she's going to get. And we can
we got
sit
a
here and
glimpse
say,
of her in the Rumble.
yeah,
That's all we needed
And
for
that
right
was
now.
all we needed for now. Yeah, I
and
Yeah.
know.
just
That
think
was
about
just
look how
saying
much.
that's all we needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, look how much we only saw this much of Jade. We saw her power. We saw the
Mhm.
presence that she brings, and that was it. We didn't see no in ring capabilities, no in ring this or that from Jade. We just saw the power, the a little small presentation, and what she could possibly be. But I feel that just a little bit longer, just hold her off a little bit longer. We can all still be saying that she's green. Oh, she's green. But when she finally debut, she's not going to be so
Mhm.
green. She might fully be ready because I do believe that AEW did kind of just throw her in
Mhm.
there
They teased us
and
with her,
gave
Well,
her a
and that's
title,
good
and
because we
she
haven't
went
seen
with
her in a
it.
while. And you just throw
Yeah,
well, here's the
little
thing.
snippets of her here and there, and it's going to get us to
Mhm.
want to see her.
Yeah,
yeah,
the slow burn with her debut is totally picturesque in how it needs to be. Although, uh, as unready as she said, she's still got some elements to her character and her wrestling work that she needs a little bit more development on. But uh, all things considered, the women's rumble, that was the pop of the night
For
when
that
Jade.
Jade
was.
came out. That
Yeah.
was the
That
pop
was.
of the night. I like everybody lost their minds. Like there was nobody else really that showed up to make it anything more special than what it should have been. I mean, came out and everybody lost their minds because nobody had been we haven't had any sight of her besides, oh hey, here's Jade. We all know her maybe from the other company, but she's here now. So live with it. And we've lived with it, and that was the only thing we've seen from her. And what that, albeit that is a good thing, but I'm a little bit disappointing. It's a bit disappointing considering she had the pop of the night, and everybody was the most excited to see her. But she's not necessarily ready, although they're playing it the right way for that very reason.
Like for real,
If
for real.
that
By the way,
makes sense.
by the way, y'all see what number Jade came in at, right? That's how many likes
Hmm.
I need in the chat. That's how many
At the
likes I
very
need.
minimum.
I need that 28.
No,
I
28
need
would be
that
great.
28. But I look, just seeing her at the Rumble makes me want to see her a little bit more. I guess for me, it's like I want to see her progression. I want
Yeah.
to see how much training, how much did she learn while she was at the PC up until the Royal Rumble. Now I think it's time for us to see just a little bit of work. We
Well,
sit here, we talk about these 2-3 minute
Yeah,
matches.
we need to see what's paid off. We
Yeah, I
need to
need to
see
see
what's
what's
going
they've
to
got
pay
to do
off.
something different with her, in my opinion. They can't book her in squash matches because we've already seen that in AEW. So
Right.
The only other
True.
We
thing to
need
do with
something
her
with
is
meaning.
treat her like an old school WWF talent, how they would, maybe we'll get some teaser vignettes leading up to her
And that,
debut. And then they'll
yes,
sprinkle her in here and there. She'll come out and interfere. And then she'll cut some promos, and then that'll build towards maybe she doesn't even debut till SummerSlam, and they do that slow, like I just said, the vignettes, the
yes.
appearances here and there, the cutting a promo on somebody, and then leading to her debut match, at a PLE or a Raw
Okay.
or what have you.
I got a better idea.
Realistic.
I got a better
Go
idea
ahead.
real quick before you go, Jeremy. I got a better idea. How about, like Hula Grim said, slow burning, slow building vignettes, little
Yeah.
small appearances, non-contact appearances, stuff like that. Debut her, not at WrestleMania, not even the Raw or SmackDown after Mania. Don't do it at Perth. Don't do it in Germany. Don't do it in none of those places. Do it at Money in the Bank.
And what I'm talking about
Oh,
is there's
I
perfect
forgot
room to
about
do
Money in the
that.
Bank.
Yeah. My opinion, like say round Mania coming up, they need to introduce her and potentially have something. I think they want to have her at Mania for all intents and purposes, but what I think needs to happen is that eventually she just needs to they like within the next few weeks or after maybe say now how many weeks until our WrestleMania after Chamber?
Say that again.
Uh,
Several, right? I would say
yeah,
like directly after Chamber would be a great like depending on how long there is or even before set up her debut matches and let them be squash
before,
matches albeit let her show her power and get a showcase and then have her come in and cut a
5 weeks,
promo
5
either
weeks, 5
5
weeks,
weeks.
5 weeks,
Okay, so say
five and a
maybe
half, five and a half.
the week before Chamber, they put her on TV, at just to kind of get the ball rolling, like because she doesn't have anything as far as I'm aware going on at Chamber. She's not involved at
Okay.
Chamber, so
Yeah, if they're gonna
I
remove
could
her,
be
technically
wrong,
she was supposed to be in the chamber, but now
hmm
they're removing her from it. So
but I say she has a match. What is she only on Raw or is she SmackDown?
they're moving her to SmackDown.
So 2 weeks have like two squash matches and after the second one she doesn't want to get to a third because obviously there's no like if this is all I'm gonna do like no my mama told me whenever or my parents told me whenever I was young that if I'm trying to make waves and trying to get somewhere you go in for swinging for the biggest guy or the biggest person in there or and whoever
Mhm.
that wants to be in line for that, don't let it be Bianca because we don't want to burn that out already with her first coming in. But let her feed her to Becky, feed her to uh feed her to
If
Nia,
she's gonna be on
let her
SmackDown,
squash Nia,
if she's
let her come
gonna
in
be
and
on
humble
SmackDown,
Nia.
well, yeah, yeah, and that's what I said. I said that Nia should
I
be her
If she
mean,
first
does that,
feud.
then what's the point of having Nia Jax around? Not that there's much to of having her
well,
around
right.
now, but
Well, even then, just for story later, because Naya gets pissed off and interjects herself in some way, whether they want to do it like soon or late. But Naya can be down the line. But no, have
Soon,
her
PC, soon. I got something to tell you
uh,
later on. PC, hit me up. I got something to tell you, but soon.
have her call out one of the SmackDown women that is available for a program. And in my opinion, well, like my parents told me that if I'm gonna aim for the highest point, I need to aim for the biggest person in the company, or at least the first person that I feel like I need to address, and it's this person. I don't want to just be handed random people. Like this is not how I've already done that. Like let's
So
just
you,
get
hey,
to
you
give it
want to
like
hear
a
my
3 or 4
crackpot theory?
week.
You want to hear my crackpot
Go
theory?
ahead. No, no, I'm just throwing ideas out there. Go ahead.
You want a good first feud for Jade. How about Bailey after she wins the title?
But I feel like
Not bad.
I feel like WW. I feel like you're risking the fans turning on Jade immediately if you just interject her right at the top.
True, true. Because Bailey
Yeah,
is a baby face. Jade came in with a big pop out like that. As soon
Like
as
I'm
she's
not
gonna be a baby face.
saying don't do that. I think you got to kind of gauge the fans' reaction because if
right.
if Bailey finally gets the women's title, the fans are not going to want an AEW newcomer coming in, and it's going to look like okay, they're booking Jade to beat Bailey, and Bailey's going to just be a transitional champion. And I don't
Yeah,
think
you can't do that.
Yeah,
the
You
fans
can't
will
nobody
do
shit
that.
on
wants
that
Bailey to
whole
be a
thing
transitional
and
Don't do
champion.
Jade,
that.
and then the whole Jade Cargill experiment is already ruined from the get go.
Don't do that. That's why I was mentioning. You
Right.
know, Money in the Bank. Jade wins Money in the Bank. You can a year long just hold it, teasing Bailey, this and that. Let Bailey hold the title a year long, and maybe, and then maybe you can make something work out of that. But if you want to give, I mean, if you want to give Jade the best introduction to the main roster, SummerSlam. But if you want her to make an impact right now, I'll wait until Money in the Bank. So that's why I'm going at. That's why I'm going to leave it at as far as Jade Cargill. I unblocked her. I told her she did a wonderful job on at the Royal Rumble, and that was it. If she knows who I am, thank you. I'm
I
just
still
saying.
can't
If she
believe you
knows who I
blocked somebody who gave fuck all about you. It's
yeah,
like
yeah, you know.
it's like me blocking Jim Cornette. No, he was just tired of my bullshit and didn't want to hear me talk anymore nonsense.
You know
So,
what? You know what? And that was perfect timing because that's exactly who the fuck I want to talk about right goddamn now.
oh Lord.
Who? I can't
Jim
hear him. He's
Cornette.
cutting out.
Hold up. Okay, there we go. All right. Jim Cornette. Did y'all hear the news
Oh
about Jim
Lord.
Cornette? He is back in the news. Jim Cornette. Real quick,
Only
real quick.
because
Real quick, Jeremy. So Jim Cornette was commenting on the Darby Allin promo he did last night on Dynamite. And he basically said, this is what he
So
said. This is what he
disappointed.
said. This is what he said right here. He
Just
said,
like my father.
I thought the Darby Allin interview was so counterproductive. I couldn't believe it. They ended that show last week with a hot angle. He comes back and
Oh
his
no,
blood is
you're
all
reading
over this
Meltzer.
guy's jacket.
You're reading from Meltzer.
Yeah. I thought it was funny.
Okay. I
But
thought you were reading
basically-
from Cornette.
But this was the Meltzer. Hold on. Yeah.
That's
This is
Meltzer.
Meltzer. So Cornette basically was saying that that they're trying to make Cornette into the baby face when all he's done is shit on AEW, which he has.
Yeah.
But if
And-
anybody really listens to
Mhm.
Cornette, it's no different than JD. You got to pick through. Like he
That's
uses
good. Yeah.
he uses language
Yeah.
to create a buzz, right? So they'll
Mhm.
throw out little trigger words that they know are going to
Mhm.
get people riled up because then that's going to get the clicks coming, right?
Yep.
But if you
Yeah.
listen to Cornette, he's not much different in his assessment of AEW than JD. JD will praise AEW more when AEW does things praiseworthy, whereas Cornette just now has been shitting on AEW for so long. I think it's just turned into a gimmick, and he's kind of running
Yeah.
with it just because it pisses
Oh,
everybody on social
completely.
media off, and it keeps him relevant, and it keeps him getting clicked and watched.
Yeah,
But I
that
like a
is
lot of
completely
Cornette's
it.
takes because he's not wrong on a lot of stuff about AEW. That's just what I want to say about that.
No, he's not wrong, but in a lot of cases, I think that he's just so jaded by the community and the business as a whole. He's just got a very
He's old
um,
school.
He is. He's very
yeah.
old school.
Yeah.
Way
And
old
like I say, I can't say I disagree with the man wholeheartedly, but he's just so judgmental
Yeah,
and
and this is
so
I'm a Cornette butt puppet, remember? So you know.
you're the buddiest butt puppet I've ever seen. I'm glad. I mean, Jim Cornette would be lucky to have a butt puppet as pretty as you, Hooley.
Oh damn, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Pause.
All right, now
Pause.
we're getting out of hand with the flattery going on here. We're getting out of hand with the flattery, okay? But yeah, Jim
Yeah,
Cornette is
yeah,
very old school. He has a
yeah.
certain style on how things should be done, and as far as the business is concerned. So it makes me wonder how come Jim Cornette never
And people
had his
fail to
own.
realize that at the end of the day, he's like us. He just wants wrestling
To
to
be
thrive
good.
and be good. And a lot of
Yeah.
stuff when you're in, because I come from the era of watching Cornette in WWF, right? So when he's a heel manager and wrestling is the way it was back in the 80s and early 90s, he's kind of stuck in, because that's the time period he was most prevalent in the business. He believes that's how wrestling still should be run today. I'm a little bit more flexible than that, even though I'm still of the old school mind. So I
Yeah,
understand where he's coming from.
yeah,
But Cornette just there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot he says about AEW that he's not on board with, and I can't say I disagree with them.
Would
I'm
you
very
say
old school in
Would
my
you say
wrestling mentally.
Cornette like the sound of? Would you say Jim Cornette likes the sound of his own voice? Likes to toot his own horn?
It could
Yeah,
be argued, yeah.
a little bit. Yeah,
He probably likes the smell of his own exhaust.
Yeah, yeah. I think Jim Cornette is great. The whole shit. Every time he speaks, I do listen.
and you don't have to like him. Like, you don't have to agree. You can have totally opposite thoughts. But
Yeah,
like when I see people throwing out the racist word around because of comments that he's made in the past, but they've only taken a snippet of the entire thing that he said. Like, I just feel bad for the guy because he gets a bad rap, and people
he does. He does. I
people
think Jim
just hear
Cornette-
the trigger words
Yeah.
that he says, and they can't
Yeah.
get past that and try to understand what he's truly getting at.
Yeah, trigger
And that's
words,
the one
guys.
thing.
Trigger
So
words
many
like
things are taken out of context.
trigger words like Kevin Dunn and Beaver. Yeah, man, I would lose my mind. Those are my trigger words too. All that shit, But
The Hardly
I
Boys.
do respect Jim Cornette. I do want to give him his flowers. So shout out to Jim Cornette. Listen, I've heard Jim Cornette. Like, I've been following Jim Cornette since NWA, WCW, all that. Mid South, and all that. Man, Jim Cornette is absolutely.
I don't
one of
think
the
Jim
top.
cares too much for Cornette.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, I'll listen to what he has to say, but at the same time,
I just think
like,
he's funny. I think he could literally, like, you know how Dolph Ziggler wanted to transition into the like stand-up comedy genre, and then you see like little
Yeah.
clips of him doing these little independent comedy shows, and he's trying to make jokes about wrestling, and like the crowd's just like,
Yeah, they're like.
I think Cornette could literally have had a career in stand-up comedy about like pro wrestling. I think he could have done it, because I laugh uncontrollably when I listen to him. He just says the goofiest, most off the wall shit.
Yeah, Nick Nemeth is pretty funny, man. He is pretty funny. All right, now we're gonna start filtering in through the vegetables. We're gonna see what these potatoes taste like, man. And
I wanna mention something. Hooli mentioned the Hardly Boys, which made me remember something. Apparently, a little spoiler from last night's Rampage. Anybody hear about that?
Yeah,
Jeff Hardy got KO'd by Sammy
Was it a knee
Guevara.
or a foot?
It looked like either a shin or a knee, but Sammy pushed off too hard with the left leg and basically got skewed to the right a little bit, and like his sideways rotation ended up causing that shooting star press to land right on Jeff's face, head.
Was he severely injured, or was he just knocked out?
He got knocked the fuck out. That's all that they've said.
KO.
I mean, the video is vicious. It looks gnarly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what Jesse was saying on OTS
I
last
shared
night.
it. I shared it on X. Or Twitter,
Yeah, I
on
shared
X.
it too.
I shared it.
and-
How did
I thought
not
he
see
caught
this?
a knee. I thought he caught a knee to the face. I was like, holy shit.
Oh yeah, he got bad.
When did you guys share it? Because I don't see it.
I shared it yesterday.
Oh,
I shared it yesterday.
Last night.
Yeah, it was like last night. Yeah, I shared it. But yeah, we'll talk about Jeff Hardy here in a second, because we're getting into the AEW to the real AEW stuff. Now I got a question that I want to ask you, you fine gentlemen. I want to talk
Oh,
about
thank you.
I want to talk about Okada. I want to talk about Will Ospreay, and I
Yeah,
want to
let's.
talk about Mercedes.
Yeah.
So the other day,
Big
I
business,
had mentioned
motherfucker.
this. Yeah, it's big business time, and I had mentioned this with Okada, Ospreay, and Mercedes. Right off the bat, we already got Konosuke Takeshita versus Will Ospreay at Revolution. That match is official now.
Mm-hmm.
Which match?
Yep.
We don't know what's going to happen with Mercedes.
Oh,
We don't know
Osprey
what's
versus
going to happen with
Takeshita. Yeah.
Okada. Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with Okada or Mercedes. But how would you feel if you're on an AEW roster vying for an opportunity, but then you got these new guys coming in, these new people coming in, and they're pushing you down? How would that make you feel if you are uh, a powerhouse Hobbs, or if you are a Jay White and you're stuck in the middle of the card now? How would that make you guys feel?
Well, it would make me feel. I mean, it makes me as a fan feel like, it's not every day. Like, speaking specifically about Okada, because he is on a lot of people's Mount Rushmore for pro wrestling. I'm
Right.
not very familiar with New Japan. I've not watched too many New Japan matches in my life. I'm not gonna lie. I started to pay attention to them when him and Kenny Omega started getting buzz for their Wrestle Kingdom
Yeah,
matches that they were putting out.
Mm-hmm.
He's really like New Japan's John Cena or Hulk Hogan, I think. So
I can see that. Yep.
if you got a chance to bring him to the States, if you're a talent that's trying to get over, I don't see. I mean, you're in the pro wrestling business, so clearly you had idols that you looked up to in the business before you got in and mentors. So if
I
you've
mean,
got
I
a king of pro wrestling coming in and you're just a middle of the pack talent working your way up, I don't see how you can be mad at that. Like, just get better. I mean, that's all you can do is just keep doing what you're doing, and then eventually, you'll be up there maybe in a feud with them or something down the road. But I
right.
wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad at all because AEW there's no spark there right now. They need something.
Well, and
I
that's what I
think.
think that there's an element that they're missing that keeps everything interesting. And they want to be sports centric, and they re-release these rankings. And what do they mean at this point?
Yeah,
Like, they really haven't done anything. Like and even then, like, uh, as far as the tag team titles go, Sting and Darby, like, as far as contention for those titles, like, where were the Young Bucks? Like, and I don't know, were they already first in line to begin with, or what? But I don't know. I just think that they need to have a different approach to these sports centric matches and storylines. Um, they need to integrate all these different tournaments. Like, we have so many different tournaments in this company that, like, what do they ultimately mean in the long run? With that championship that Eddie's carting around right now, that Continental Crown championship, that's a Triple Crown title, or at least that its initial purpose was for Triple Crown intentions. So, um, if anybody knows the rules and uh, stipulations to how Triple Crown tournaments work, like, it's a series of three tournaments. It's a mid card championship tournament, a tag team title tournament, and a world title tournament. And basically, the world title tournament kind of that's the culmination of all three. But I think that they need to have a list of competitors each year, kind of like how they list who's all in the G1,
yeah.
but list this in a very much like this can be like the American G1, but it lasts like in sections all year. And that will give everybody a way to uh, not necessarily just pad their record in between all of the tournaments, but maintain a certain contention for placement in these tournaments. Um, Now, like people with the most wins at a certain part of the like at January 1 will be from the following year should would be the ones inserted into the tournaments plural.
Yeah, tournaments.
But there's a lot they can do aside from picking their spots and prioritizing those better because I mean uh, how gnarly but unnecessary was that Undertaker table spot last night with Matt Taven. Like, it was
Well,
beautiful, beautiful, picturesque. But I mean, the risk of injury was through the fucking roof.
bro,
So,
he lawn
like,
darted himself through that damn
yeah,
table, man.
yeah. Closest thing I've seen was that Undertaker table spot years ago. Like that was insane. Um, But no, like there's a lot that AEW can do, and we've had other discussions in depth about this in the past. But like
Yeah,
as far as making things mean something again, I think that they need to have like a year-round sectional tournament that all culminates with this Triple Crown, and leave the world title out of it. Leave the world title out of it. That's a whole nother realm. But the Continental Crown should be a Triple Crown title and considered to be like world title status. Like aside from the AEW World Championship, there should be an AEW like they should call it the Continental Crown,
keep that his own separate, this own separate story. The world title,
the
keep that its own
AEW
separate
Continental
story.
Triple Crown title,
Yeah. So
and
that is cool.
The Triple Crown title uh it goes to the winner of like say the tag team title. All the participants are going to be divvied up in a tag team tournament, and so nobody who is like a lot of tag teams are going to be kind of introduced and made for this, so they may not be like there can be there endless options you can do with this. But no, there are different multiple different ways to solve this. As far as Okada coming in, Osprey, Mercedes, and whoever else is going to come in within the next 6 months. Um, Personally, if they're going to be billed as big talent, it's they need to like if Okada and Mercedes, what JD was saying the other day, for Mercedes to come in and them to drop the ball for with her, similar to how a
You trying to hop
WWE
in,
did.
Patrick? Are you trying to hop in, Patrick? Are you literally you for real trying to hop in? Because when you said the whole "let me in" thing, I thought you was doing a Bray Wyatt reference, which I have news on that as well. Because there's rumors that people are trying to get Bray Wyatt inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. So
He
I
should
definitely
be,
want to. I definitely want to touch on that too. But yeah, there.
but
Hey,
no,
there it
the
is.
idea
Come
the
on in.
idea that yeah, come on in, man. The idea that Mercedes is coming in and where this is where she wants to be, where she could likely go back to WWE if she fucking chose, like that, and take the money that they were gonna offer her, but
Yeah.
she's not going to. She wants to be with AEW. She wants to make this change and help develop
No, she just
the
wants
women's
money.
division there. Well, she wants money too, but she also
She would have
wants
gone to
to
whoever
like
paid her the
have a
most.
good. She wants to. What's up, Patrick? She wants the.
Oh, I'm seeing if it works. You can hear me?
She want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
We
can
Yeah.
hear you.
Oh, I mean,
No,
oh,
she wants the creative as well because that's one of the reasons why she left WWE in the first place was creative, bad creative, and like her stipulation
Well,
coming
and she
back
stood up
was, oh,
for
you're gonna pay Charlotte
Trinity and walked out
for
with her.
Trinity, yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
And she can't. Her one stipulation to coming back was getting paid the big bucks, just like Charlotte, equivalent or more, and that wasn't gonna happen. So brass tacks came down to brass tacks, and she came back to AEW. Whether she was shopping for contracts or whether she was just kind of in the wind, tossed this offer, and she's like, "No, I don't want to come back for less than this. Like there's no real way to say until later on when she starts shooting. But for AEW to drop the ball with Mercedes, Okada, and Osprey after they're taking a chance and leaving places that they only not only had a viable income working with, but taking a chance on something that they want where they want to be. If TK drops the ball, like I really don't see AEW surviving for very much longer. But hopefully there's some method to his madness. Like I'm
if
just
he drops the ball on Okada, I don't think Osprey really factors into this as much as Okada and Mercedes
right.
do. If he fumbles them two, I agree with Jeremy. I don't expect that. I mean, because if you think
This
about like
is
the attendance issues they're already having, the ratings issues they're already having,
Yeah.
if these two don't come in and basically say, okay, we're get on our back, guys. We're
mhm,
carrying this load,
Yeah.
and he fumbles the
Yeah. I
booking
agree.
with them two. I mean, I'm already
they
on the
need to
verge
have.
of being done with AEW in terms of even paying attention to it and giving it the time of day.
I've been actually giving more credibility than I have in the last 10 years to WWE. So,
Same, which it's
like
mind-boggling how the whole
shift,
wrestling
the
landscape
dynamic has
flipped.
shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Hmm.
like, my thoughts on this, like, if I am a performer on an AEW roster, sure, I'm going to work my ass off to get better because
right.
I want an opportunity. But to have somebody come in, I would be upset because I'll feel like that I'm just going to drop down a card.
But here's how it all depends on your mentality, Otis. Like you have to look at it a certain way because, like, if a Hogan's coming back in, then yeah, I'm gonna be heated. But
Yeah.
Hmm.
this is Okada. This is somebody that is a wrestling god from a place that most of us aren't too familiar with, and I'd be willing to
Hmm.
bet maybe there'd be some disgruntled people more so in WWE, but I feel like because AEW is so closely tied with the indie scene and with New Japan because of Tony Khan's connections, I don't see how you could be a talent like a Daniel Garcia or a Action Andretti or someone like that, um, and have an Okada come in and be mad at that. I think that I'd personally, if it was me, I'd be excited as shit, and I'd go right to him as soon as he came in, and I'd pick his brain, and I'd want to be around him as much as possible.
Yeah, for sure. And whether it's from like mixing it up to integrate more Japanese culture or stuff that Japanese culture can appreciate when they're crossing over into watching American wrestling. Um, I believe that, yeah, Okada can be a great asset for that. Just as Shinsuke has brought a lot of attention, at least lately, to WWE's product from Eastern cultures.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but especially with the way he's being billed right now, good.
Yeah.
But again, like why I'm still
Well,
questioning
WWE is
some of the
smart
booking,
too. You
but
guys think that
I'm
they've
still.
started to boost Shinsuke right now because they know that Okada's coming in to AEW?
Uh, I think that
Nah.
there's. I don't know if that is because of that. I just think that there's certain uh, logic gaps in certain holes, and it makes sense if they really did pivot. Then that's why they were trying to make adjustments in the story to fit that and backtrack a little bit. That's why I guess Shinsuke got involved for a minute. But no, Patrick, give us your opinion on the whole uh, Okada, Mercedes, and Osprey into AEW. How do you feel about
Yeah.
it?
He typed in the
Like, what
private
you
chat, hold on, so I don't know. He might be AFK.
Uh,
okay. Yeah, he had to
okay,
switch. I think he had to switch settings or something like that. But
okay. Well,
we'll get his opinion real quick. Um, Mercedes, look, I don't think there's any other place you could put Mercedes but the top. She
Yeah.
deserves it. I think
Oh, correct.
I don't care who the fuck you got to feud her with, as long as somewhere by the end of the year she's holding the AEW World Women's Championship.
Can
That's
I just say
that's
this
that's
real quick?
exactly where she should be planted at, firmly at the top. Okada, I guess you could put him in a nice little long build for an AEW World Title or that Triple Crown title or whatever. And I guess Patrick Palmer will be back in just a few minutes. That's cool. But Will Ospreay. Now,
Now,
people was
all right.
Well,
talking
yeah,
about
go ahead.
they,
I
Well,
was
hey,
gonna.
they
Huli,
made they
hey.
made a big deal. They made a big deal about these New Japan stars not being able to go back once they sign with AEW. It's like, how you can't say that. You cannot say that because they can go back to New Japan and do matches and this and that. Like Omega did it, Moxley did it. I'm not
Mhm.
sure if Jay White went back and did it, but I'm sure Will
They're
Ospreay is
still
going to do
doing
it.
it.
But Mercedes is going to do it. Rocky Romero, like all these people are going back to New Japan. It's not the end road for them, you know. So, and I understand that
Yeah.
AEW has a lighter schedule where the money is good and stuff like that, but you can still pretty much do whatever you want in AEW as far as going and fooling around with other promotions other than
As long as it's
WWE
not gonna,
affiliated.
as long as you're not really sacrificing your health or seriously risking your viability to your parent company or to your primary working company. But no, Huli, what were you trying to say?
I was just gonna say back to Otis's question earlier about if you're a young talent and you're working your way up the card, and then someone comes like an
Sorry, I
Osprey
was
or
trying to pick
a
this man.
Okada comes in, and would you be mad? And so I said what I said about Okada, but that's if you're comparing if you're taking Okada and Osprey, I'm gonna be mad at Osprey coming in because he's more.
Well,
I'm looking at him as more like my competitor, like that. Like him and I
yeah.
not necessarily are on the same wrestling level, but
Hmm.
I'm looking at Osprey as my peer, as my
Hmm.
coworker. I'm not looking at Okada in the same light. Like I'm looking at Okada
Right.
when he walks in, like, oh, excuse me, sir. Hi, nice to meet you. Yes, sir. Right this way, sir. Like appease him, like,
Hmm.
make him feel as welcome as possible because of who he is. Now I'm not saying that like Will Osprey is less than uh Patrick, we can hear you clicking the keyboard, bro.
Oh, okay. Uh,
Just letting you know.
well, I mean, with him coming in, it's fine. But if I'm looking at this as like a wrestler or a talent, I'm looking at this as, well, he's coming in. Well, what about my spot? I mean, it's gonna make you feel like this guy's gonna come in. He's gonna take my spot, and he's gonna make me feel like, well, I might as well. Well, it's gonna make me be like, I'm going down the card, so that means my spot's gonna be taken by someone else. While it will do that, at the same time, it should make you want to be like, okay, then I have to do something better to keep my spot and make sure
Yeah,
that I don't have to lose my
work
spot to
harder.
someone else.
Yeah,
Yeah, it has to make you want to work harder. It shouldn't make you it shouldn't make you feel like that you're going down the card. Just because you're going down the card doesn't mean that that means that TK is valuing this guy over me. You should look at this as, all right, well, I have to do something even bigger in the wrestling and make Tony Khan look at me like, all right, well, he wants a spot, and well, he wants a spot. That should make everyone else around them be like, well, I want the spot too. So if you want the spot, then you should work your ass off and try and get to where it is.
yeah,
That way, when Osprey does come in, he'll want to. That way, when Osprey comes in, TK's not going to immediately hand the spot like, all right, here you go. I'm taking the spot from someone else. That way,
yeah,
you won't have to worry about it. But if you are worried that someone else is going to come in and take your spot, I'm. Why are you even wrestling if you're worried that someone else is just going to do that to you? You're being real insecure about your spot in
I
this
don't
spot right here. You're competing for a champ. We're going to be competing for a championship somewhere in the near future, and the Osprey is going to come in and it's going to take your spot. Stop. Don't worry about him trying to take your spot. Worry about making your craft bigger, so that when TK does give you that spot, it feels earned. That way,
Yeah.
he's not giving it to you for some random reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's the thing.
Oh, we got Jeremy up on the water, y'all.
Oh no, I fell underwater.
How's that better?
There we go.
Is that
There we
better?
go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. So, all things considered, there's a certain dynamic and caliber of talent that AEW employs. Whether they're on the main AEW card or they're pushed back to Rampage, or if they're relegated to Ring of Honor, which is basically their training grounds.
Yeah.
A lot of these people that are still in AEW but have been around for a while, the smaller names that not many people are familiar with, TK is basically finding out who's going to be sinking and who's swimming right now. And a lot of the cases with when people are being pushed back, it's either
but
because
that's
it's
what you
because
got
they
the
ain't
ranking.
swimming.
That's what you got the ranking systems for, right?
Well, right. But all those people who are
If they
falling
were
down the
legit, not
rankings,
gimmicked.
right.
Yeah.
But that's why. But TK has also been doing a lot of contract. He's been introducing a lot of contracts. He's been employing people that he knows are sure things. Are definitely going to pay off for him. With Okada, Mercedes, Osprey, Jay White, Omega, the Bucks, they're all going to pay off. And Keith Lee, whenever he can get healthy, forbid that they can't give him another chance with good creative. I don't know how they want to fix all of that, because I mean, I honestly think he might be on his way back to WWE. But I just think that a lot of people, like TK, is finding out who currently with his company is going to is sinking, and who's swimming. And like say whether they are good on the mic or good in the ring, or a combination of, like, they will have one or the other. Like, it's one thing that's going to push you down further on down the card for these other guys to pick up the slack. And perfect place for Okada and Mercedes, Osprey to come in and fill those voids. And that just puts them into better places to have better, more meaningful matches with other guaranteed money match talent on that roster. So, Huli, you look like you were chomping at the bit to say something.
I don't mean to be a
Right.
dick, but I was just gonna ask if Patrick, when he's not talking, can mute his mic, because all I hear is him typing keys, and
Oh, the
I don't know if he's
bubbles.
eating chips or what, but it is so
It's
is
the
so loud in my
microphone.
ears I can't concentrate. Which
It's all
which
good.
is fine. I just could you, if he could mute his mic, that would be dope.
Okay.
Thank you, Pat.
Okay. Yeah, he's good. He's good. So real quick before we go into before we go into I like to call this the middle section of the show. But before we go into that, who for Okada? We already know Will Ospreay is heading into a match with Konosuke Takeshita at Revolution.
That's gonna
But-
be a sick match.
So I'm going to
That's
I'm
gonna
going
be
to
so
exclude
sick, bro.
I'm going to exclude Mr. Ospreay from this selection. So we're looking at Okada and Mercedes. Who logically should be their first feud coming into AEW
For Okada, you're talking about.
for Okada and Mercedes.
It depends on. So, do you guys believe that Okada's coming in with Mercedes next week? Or I mean, in 2 weeks?
It's very possible.
Nice.
It's very possible.
It's possible. I'll give it a 60-40.
Or do you think that maybe or do you think he'll debut at Revolution?
Mercedes?
Here's the
Yes.
thing.
Okada.
They've got it. It's not called Big Business for a reason, and I'm sorry. Big Business, with all the names that they've landed and who haven't really shown their faces with an all elite graphic yet, like they haven't been noticed. They haven't been announced yet. So Big Business would be Osprey showing up Obviously, he's already got a match
Hold
before
on,
Big
hold on,
Business,
hold on,
but
hold on. I gotta do this for Jeremy, so he can have the full fledged of the Swifty effect. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Swifty Rob Tay Tay. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Man.
Punch
Oh,
What
him.
up,
man.
Rob?
Hatred.
Hey, we're Swifties until Monday, all right? We're Swifties until Monday.
Red
Patrick
skies all
Mahomes, this is
week.
your fault. This is your fault, Mahomes.
That's right, Matt. That's right, Matt. Takeshita and Ospreay at Revolution.
I hate the 49ers. All right, let's get to it.
But I think it would be stupid to.
Are you living in
like,
the
if
past,
that-
bro? Goat Mahomes. Goat
Everybody's
Mahomes.
Everybody's saying
Yeah,
Okada's
man.
coming into AEW, and it hasn't been announced yet. But everybody's just saying that seems to be the case since talks with WWE apparently.
You know,
fell
he's
through.
wrestled pretty heavily in Japan for a long time. Just because we all know he's coming, he might want to take some time off and heal his body, and I don't know, maybe see America and get acclimated to it before he just jumps into something. So,
Yeah.
I mean, just because he's coming in, I guess, doesn't necessarily mean we're seeing him anytime relatively soon, but just depends.
Go ahead, Patrick.
But yeah, so
What's up, Patrick?
At least. Oh, hey,
up, bro?
Rob.
Yeah,
Mr. Swifty.
yeah.
but yeah, I think
Oh, Lord.
I mean,
I would really love to see a AEW version of Okada versus Jay White in the first feud.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm going to talk about
Oh, no,
here
not
in
the
a
first
little,
feud.
in
Not
a
gonna be
little
the
half
first
intermission of the show, real quick. But
It's
Mercedes.
it's hard.
But
Go
Jay
ahead,
White's
Jimmy,
with
go
the
ahead.
Bang Bang Scissor Gang, isn't he?
The Bang Bang Scissor Gang.
Yeah, for now though.
How do you
For
break
now,
him
though.
away? How do you break
Go ahead,
him
Jack,
away
what you was
from
gonna
that
say?
goofy story and transition him into
Oh,
a
they just
feud with
unify the
Okada?
tag titles and they break it up. That's all they have to do.
I personally
We're just
want to see
That's
Okada
such a
come
boring
in.
easy. Don't be
storyline.
acclaimed.
I want to see
I know it's boring. They just
Okada
wanna
come
sell
in.
merch. That's all they want to do.
If not at Revolution, I want to see him come in at
Rage.
a certain point, and
My dog right there.
he comes in and has he's gonna have to be in meaningful things, and he has the most history with the Young Bucks. I personally think he needs to come in and be like, "Hey, I'm here, guys," and they super kick him. And then Okada is basically left to kind of find, Okada needs to come in and immediately face adversity. Like, not this, he doesn't need to be billed like Warlow. He doesn't need to have that squash match factor. We already know what he's capable of. Let's just jump into gear, get him a program. That's all I can say about it.
Yeah.
I
Also,
think.
hey
I think
guys, what if
Go ahead.
Okada joins the Don Callis family? What if he does that?
I wouldn't be too opposed to that.
Hey, we all say he's gonna be like Brock Lesnar. Who's closest to Brock Lesnar?
And here's the thing, that makes a lot of sense with how anti Kenny Omega they are. If they were to if they had Ospreay, who just beat Omega this past year, and then Okada, who has the best match record with Kenny on the planet,
Otis.
it makes sense.
What?
Yo, Rob, bro, y'all just you hit me with an idea.
Oh, I did it
Ospreay,
again. Did I do it again?
Ospreay and Takesha at Revolution. Okada comes in and calls Ospreay.
Yeah.
Don Callis.
And then Don Callis hits him with a nail thing.
Ooh.
And then Ospreay.
So we're saying Big Business is just Sasha.
He has Takeshita. Takesha's gonna be the apprentice to Okada, probably. Something like that. I don't know. Just spitballing.
Holy shit. That would be fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
As
Okada,
an
a heel
Okada. As a heel?
Yeah. He's the opposite of the Bullet Club. He's a Japan guy coming to America. Yeah. Fuck these guys.
My goodness, that's crazy. That would be absolutely great.
Yeah.
That would be
he don't care. He just want to kill people. That's all. Killers. Just killers. Ospreay's not a killer. He's an assassin. All right. He's an assassin. He's an aerial assassin. All right.
I just want to see Okada versus MJF.
He's a freaking amazing wrestler. Yeah.
That'd be
awesome.
Hey, take my money. Okada versus MJF.
Hey, when Kenny comes back, he has somebody to feud with.
Okada.
Yes.
He's with Khan.
Take my money.
Here we go.
Golden Jets.
Look at
There
Reggie's
you go.
comment.
That guy. The
Take my
Rainmaker.
motherfucking money like for real.
The Rainmaker. Yeah, Chris
Rage.
Jericho,
No, you didn't rage.
Bro, we can get Jericho. Oh, you rage. I saw Taylor Swift. I didn't read the rest of it. How dare you? I will be the 2018 version of Jay-Z every Monday night. If she ever goes to WWE, every night I will just watch. I will hate watch. I will hate watch. I will break it all down just to hate it. I'll break it all down. Break it down.
Oh
yeah,
my
break it
God.
down. I'll break it
I
down.
wouldn't even.
You wanna
That
get
would
the
be so
Swifties involved
despicable.
in
I
Raw
couldn't
and
even hate.
SmackDown?
I couldn't even hate watch that. I wouldn't even be able to hate watch it.
I'll be that mad. I would hate watch. You have to be at a level of pissed off to hate watch. I would.
Pissed off to the highest level of passivity.
Bro,
Yeah.
forget funny
Fact.
Rob, man. It's gonna be Savage Rob. It's gonna be disgusting Rob. It's gonna be all the Robs. All right, just the worst.
So, I want to just I just want to change subject for just a second. I want to pivot, but from last night and how everything's been with Hangman for the last month or two. How much has this man turned into Magnum TA?
Magnum TA.
Magnum TA.
Mustache.
That,
keeps
like,
getting
for
thicker
real.
and longer, man.
Like he's just got a different outfit at this point. Like maybe if he went back to trunks, but yeah, I just saw that. I saw a
maybe he
picture.
could've
He's
wiped
like,
his ass.
I'll be
He's-
Hang
damned.
out with the Bucks.
He's got
I
a
mean, the
better
Jacksons.
chance of making it in adult movies.
Oh yeah, he can.
I-
He got the mustache.
Yeah.
He has the mustache. He can do it. He has the
Well, I
background
mean,
for it.
Completely cringe.
Good thing for him. A lot of women like taking mustache rides. So,
That's funny.
another little thing. I don't know if anybody heard. I just saw a report earlier that Dustin Rhodes has pulled back his retirement plans.
Yeah,
Whether
I told you. I called this. I
Mhm.
called this. I know exactly what's happening with Dustin.
He said
Yep,
2 to 4
I do
years.
too.
And
Makes
Tony
like
Khan is going to let him go to
4 years.
WrestleMania. That's what's
Yep.
happening. That is
That's
exactly
right.
what's happening. Hell yeah.
What's up, Kratos?
He said
Fredo.
he feel like
He-
he
But
said
he's
he
got to
feel
be
like
gold
about
dust. He's
2
got to be gold
more
dust.
years.
He
He's
has
gonna
to
be
be
gold
gold dust.
I don't know if he'll be gold dust, but I man, like that. If it is what I think it is,
I'll still mark out
whether
either way.
he's
I just hope he's gold dust though.
like, I'm wondering how long Dustin Rhodes has left in his contract.
But you're right, Jeremy. Gold dust is a gimmick, and if it's going to be family versus family, then he might just come in as himself, as Dustin Rhodes or
Yes,
Runnels.
Dustin, I think
Yeah.
that'd be cool. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
While Jeremy's looking up the research for that, I want to talk. This right here is what I call this the middle point of the show, where I go.
Well,
to some,
it says-
some announcements, so I can go to some announcements. As we all know, at Revolution is going to be the EVP Bucks taking on Sting and Darby for the AEW World Tag Team titles. They did have the graphic for Konosuke Takeshita versus Will Ospreay for Revolution. And also, if you guys have been watching the little AEW promos, it has been a little bit back and forth between the Bullet Club Gold and the Acclaim, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, and some altercations starting to happen. So it looks like we might be getting Bullet Club Gold versus the Acclaim in a unification match for both the Ring of
Pause,
Honor
Rob.
and the 6-man and the AEW Trios Championship.
You're acting zesty as
So
hell.
what do you guys
Hey,
think about that?
it's on their show. I mean, it's on their shirt. So guess what?
If somebody jump off a cliff, are you gonna?
Maybe. If I can fly, if I have wings. You never know you can fly. You never know.
So yeah,
But so far,
September
that's the
2024.
Revolution. So far, that looks like that what might be the Revolution card so far. It's not
7
concrete
matches?
or confirmed.
Really
but
good
it is
matches.
so- yeah.
Really good matches.
Yeah,
And
the
it
six
looks-
ma-
it
six
looks
matches
like
are
matches-
That's some takeover shit. Love it.
Yeah,
It doesn't
so
matter. It doesn't
this
matter when
looks
his
pretty.
contract ends. In my
Revolution looks
opinion.
fucking amazing right
We
now.
still have the face of the Revolution ladder match, maybe be
So-
added.
Tony
So,
Khan
yeah,
will let
Yep.
Tony Khan will let
Yep.
Dustin go to WrestleMania. It doesn't matter about his contract
yeah.
for that. I don't think.
Yeah,
This-
for
oh, yeah.
sure.
I guarantee you, Tony Khan got to tell Dustin,
yeah.
hey, yo, make sure you flip off everybody though. Make sure you flip off everybody. Yeah.
He's gonna probably have to foot sweep Triple H
Yeah,
backstage though.
he's gonna
Yeah.
He's gonna
No,
flip
Also,
it-
the flip
it's
off everybody.
also, if you see CM Punk, finish the job. Yeah, don't say that. Yeah.
Oh,
I get it.
real
I
quick,
get it.
real quick,
I get it.
real quick. So a little CM Punk news.
Yeah.
Because
You mean
by the
Phil
way,
Brooks
Punk,
news?
Shut up,
Phil
Rob.
Brooks.
Let
by
him
the way,
talk.
Punk,
Phil Brooks.
CM
Say it
Punk
right.
just had.
Say it right, Otis.
I
Say it
know,
right.
Rob.
Say it
I
right.
know,
Say
Rob.
it right. Say it right. Say it right. Phil Brooks news.
All right, Phil
CM
Brooks.
Punk.
Phil Brooks. Pepsi
There you
Phil.
go.
One Bill Phil. All right.
Yeah.
A
CM
little
Punk's dead.
news. So, by the way, he just had surgery. So speedy recovery for Phil. But
He's in the
WWE
ground.
is looking to add him. They're looking to add him into a guest, like a host type role for WrestleMania this year. So he'll be a part of it somehow. Phil will be a part of it somehow. Pepsi
He did
Phil
say
will
his
be a
mouth
part
still
of it.
works, and I took that to mean that he's going to be the host of
He
WrestleMania.
didn't say pause, so guess
yeah.
what? I'm
He's gonna
laughing at
get
him.
he's gonna get the Samoa Joe treatment from 3 years ago.
Nah, he's gonna
Standing
be
in the
Titus
rain?
O'Neil. It's gonna be Titus
Getting
O'Neil.
electrocuted out in the rain.
Yeah, I hope
Maybe.
Maybe something will get something in his mind might work. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's
All
go into our next story, man. We're gonna talk just a little quick, story on Matt Camp. If you guys don't know who Matt Camp is, he did
Yeah, he
the
got fired.
WWE
Why?
Debunk,
Why did he get fired? He's
and
so
he
good
got
at
fired,
his
and
job.
I don't know why.
He's really good at
I
his
have
job.
no idea why he got released.
Who?
Budget
Matt
cut.
Kemp. He's
Budget
the host
cut.
of the Hump.
Yeah,
Oh,
the bump,
oh,
the
that
bump
little
hump,
hipster.
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
With
bump,
Caleb
with the
yeah.
Bransky and
haircut.
stuff.
With the
Yeah, so
haircut.
he's been released. So best wishes on all future endeavors. Matt Kemp, the spiel and stuff. Next, Shotzi was injured at NXT TV tapings, and it was described as grave. Of course, we want nothing but the best and speedy recovery for Shotzi. But what the fuck is up with all these injuries, man? What the fuck was they doing in NXT for Shotzi to get hurt?
She was
that
wrestling.
right there.
I know what she was doing. She was wrestling for the NXT Women's Championship against Valkyria, whatever.
Oh, that's
stupid name is.
right, Lyra Valkyria.
Valkyria.
They made the match this past
Yeah.
Tuesday. It was a tape show. I didn't know it was taped. They taped it
Yeah,
after the
okay.
live stream, after the live show. So I didn't know that. Crazy.
There you got it right there, guys. Now you know why Shotzi is hurt. And I guess I'm going to this segue right here. And because of Shotzi being hurt, last night, GM Nick Aldis sent out a little message explaining what's going to happen tomorrow night on SmackDown. So due to Shotzi's injury, she has been pulled, but that does not mean an opportunity won't go to waste, as Alba Fire will be replacing her. And the matches that were scheduled have been switched. So tomorrow on SmackDown, it was going to be Shotzi versus Tiffany Stratton. Now you're going to have Tiffany Stratton going against Zelina Vega. And Naomi was supposed to wrestle Zelina Vega. Now Naomi is wrestling Alba Fire. And of course, Logan Paul is taking on The Miz tomorrow, which would be maybe a little decent of a match. And of course, The Rock and Roman and
I've already
Triple H
seen it
SmackDown.
twice. I've already seen that match twice in the same year.
Yeah,
2 years ago.
yeah, already seen it twice. Hey, Patrick, we're gonna hold you out, bro, because we're getting the popcorn crackling sounds when you come in, man. We're gonna hold
That's
off
Jeremy's
on you.
job. That's Jeremy's job. What we doing? What we doing?
We're gonna hold off on you on this round right here. So with everything that's going on with Shotzi and the adjustment that Nick Aldis made yesterday for tomorrow's SmackDown, what do you guys see going? What do you guys see?
See? I see. I don't care.
Man, I can't make any assertions about this at the moment. I'm hoping that Shotzi's okay.
Yeah.
Nobody likes
okay.
hearing about this.
So
stuff,
do you think anything? Do you think anything changes? Do you think the original people will win? Because Tiffany Stratton
No,
was supposed to
nothing
win.
will change. Nothing will change.
Here's the thing.
Uh,
With Shotzi, when she was in the Mae Young Classics, and then when she came in to NXT, I liked her look. I liked her style. I thought she stood out from the other women, and I was really anxious to watch her progression. And
Yeah.
here we are now in 2024, a number of years removed from those tournaments.
She's getting worse.
I don't think
Real.
I don't
She's
Like,
getting
look at
worse.
Tiffany Stratton. She came in as green as grass, and look at what she's doing. You can
Right.
definitely see.
She does a
Fucking
better
beast.
moonsault
Tiffany
than
Stratton's
Charlotte.
beast.
Tiffany Stratton
Starbucks.
comes in years after you and has already eclipsed you in terms of what she can do in the ring. That's a problem.
Hey,
You
and
might
she's
want to
blonde.
address
And she's
that.
blonde.
Maybe
she's blonde.
in-ring
She's blonde.
wrestling isn't for Shotzi. Maybe they can find a role for her as a manager, as maybe if they put her in a tag team for the women's division where she's not just focused on as an individual. Because when you got 4 people work in a match, you can cover up one individual or a number of individual flaws that a person has. So
Right.
I don't know. I just don't. It sucks that she got injured, but I can't say that I'm surprised because when I watch her in the ring, she still looks green as grass to me.
Fucking Jen. Oh my goodness.
What'd she do now?
Well, yeah, it is one of them things.
Don't forget she's blonde.
I-
Don't forget she's blonde. That's a head. That's like being Samoan for women.
Jim being Jim.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is normally just tits and ass.
Nothing's gonna change. I say nothing's gonna change. With Shotzi, she was gonna lose anyways. Come on.
Yeah, I don't think
No,
It sucks.
I don't
but
think
nothing's
nothing is
gonna
going to change.
doesn't.
Yo, Rob. So since you're here, I'm gonna go back on a couple of
Yes, I'm
subjects, and I want to get your
Yes, I'm
opinion about it.
I'm a
So
Swiftie.
we talked about Jade Cargill being pulled from the Elimination Chamber, but she is scheduled to make an appearance on SmackDown
Wait,
tomorrow.
she was going there? She was going there? Why?
Yeah, she was going to be in the
She's
chamber,
not ready
bro.
for that. She's not ready for that.
Okay, so you agree like the rest of us then?
yeah.
Not ready.
You agree
Not
like
ready.
the rest of us that she's not quite ready yet.
For the Royal Rumble, she was ready. All she had to do was throw people out of the ring. That's easy for her, probably. She made it look hard. Kratos.
Great,
what's up, bro?
close.
But yeah, Jade Cargill's not ready yet. Not ready. Not ready. I said you can put her against Nia. Insert joke here. Jax. Snacks. Whatever.
He said, "Insert joke here."
You said that too. Yeah, you think Nia'd be good. Yeah, you think Nia would be the
something
first one.
easy. Just something easy. Not too
It's
crazy.
easy. It's a good introduction.
Well, Nia.
But if you do that
they're
with
trying to-
Nia, if you do that with Nia Jax, you basically
defeats
got to let
it.
Nia Jax go.
Yeah, it
Who
defeats
cares
her
about Nia
entire
Jax?
purpose
Who cares
there.
about her?
I'm just saying. If you
Well,
want her
they're
on the
trying to
roster,
put. They're trying
not-
to build.
not
They're
saying I
trying to
want
build her.
or want to see her on TV, but if you do that with her, she's pretty much buried.
Right.
She's been buried. What
How
are you
do you-
talking about?
She's getting
do
pushed.
you
What are you
feel
talking
about-
about? She's about to be at WrestleMania as part of the
Being pushed.
bloodline.
What do you think, Kratos?
What?
Nia Jax.
Are they trying to ruin the
Jade
bloodline?
Cargill in the Elimination Chamber.
She's in the bloodline. She was on the family
See,
tree.
I know she's in it, but I don't care about it.
You
But
don't.
yes, it was. This freaking asshole up here.
I'm just saying, Mania is going to be
This guy.
family versus family, and
Look at
you're
his
going to
guy.
see every member of the bloodline in a match at Mania.
And since my
I wouldn't
fiance
put
is
it
in the
past
chat,
that
how
either.
do you like my little name, Angel? Since my fiance is in the chat right now, how you like my name right here?
hitting that freaking thing.
Not a supporter of genocide. All right. Well, yeah.
Blake knows what I mean. Blake knows what I mean.
Not a supporter of what?
Genocide.
Genocide.
If you've been watching stuff that's been going on social media on our personal shared Twitter account, you would know what we mean.
No.
It involves Israel and a song contest, and that they haven't been banned for.
Yeah.
Just know it
Yeah,
involves
JP.
mostly Israel.
I agree with you, JP. It's weak. It's weak. It's really weak.
And that's all I'll say.
I don't know.
All right, Rob. So Rob, what do you if you
Back to
are a AEW wrestler and you're on the roster and you got Okada, Mercedes, and you got Ospreay coming in. Meanwhile, you're trying to get an opportunity, but these guys come in and knock you down. Like,
Okay.
how would you?
Well, I
feel
got
about
to answer in two different ways. One, if I'm a woman and Mercedes is showing up, yay. That means everybody's getting elevated. Yay.
And
If
that's what I was going to
Yeah.
say. If Mercedes was coming in, I wouldn't be opposed to that because I know Mercedes is going to boost everybody in that women's division.
Fully.
Hold on, Holy. Let Rob finish the second part of this
No.
question.
Okay, second one, my bad. Second one, I forgot Okada's gonna be like, bro, he's not gonna be there every freaking day.
Agreed.
I think I'll beat every Osprey. Yeah, he might bunk somebody down. Hey, work hard. Work hard. Get back up there.
That's what I
Yeah,
say.
look
Get
at Daniel
back up.
Garcia. He was a jobber for half the year. Then he
True.
started doing
That's a
this,
good one.
and
That's
now
a
he's
good. That's
and now
a
he's
good
now
one.
look at
That's a
him.
good
Now
one.
now look at him.
And you can say the
Look
same
at him.
thing for Swerve. You can say the
He almost
same thing
beat
for
he
Swerve.
almost beat Adam Copeland. He almost beat Adam Copeland. So
Mm-hmm.
this
Now,
past Wednesday. All right,
to
Jose.
Otis's point, what Otis just said,
Hopefully I answer all your questions. My bad.
You did.
if I'm Swerve, and I think Swerve and only Swerve, depending on what they do with Okada, if Tony Khan is like a kid in a candy store when Okada comes in and he's going to give Okada the CM Punk treatment, like when Punk came in,
Nah.
and they book him to go above Swerve on the card, if I'm Swerve, then I have a problem with that.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I
Completely.
agree. Yeah.
I
He'd
think
be
Tony
the
Khan
only
loves
one I
Swerve
would
too
think
much.
that
He loves Swerve too much.
would be able to have a legitimate gripe about Okada coming in, depending on what they do right away with Okada.
Okay.
Right.
Fair.
And here's the thing.
Maybe
there's
Swerve wins the
different
title,
approaches
and then
that-
Okada comes in and gives them the Rainmaker, and then they start a feud right off with Swerve and Okada. And if that
right.
happens, holy smokes!
Yeah.
It's just I don't think that it's the wisest decision to just debut Okada the same way you would a Wardlow or Jade or anything like just giving them just feeding them squash matches
Oh yeah,
for
no,
weeks upon end. No,
I don't
you
think
want to
they do that.
you want to put Okada immediately into something meaningful, whether it's with the
Mm-hmm.
Bucks, whether it's for world title contention.
You're not gonna throw
For
him into
maybe
a match with someone like Wardlow for no
Eddie
reason at all.
Eddie Kingston's so hard up for Japanese talent. Like put
I wouldn't.
Okada up against Eddie for the Continental Crown, or put him in a feud. Like, hey, I mean something meaningful. It doesn't necessarily have to be Eddie. I'm just kind of spitballing, but no, you don't want to just feed him random jobbers.
As long as it's not for
To
ROH Gold that Eddie holds, I'd be okay with that.
I better not see
yeah,
Okada in Ring of Honor.
not
I better
ROH.
not see
And I
Okada in
think
Ring of Honor.
I
If he
just
shows
have a
up on Ring of
feeling
Honor,
he's gonna have some. He's gonna be intertwined with that for a while at the beginning. I don't know why I feel that way, but
Shibata's fine
Did-
with Ring of Honor. That's one thing. Shibata is like
Mhm.
over 40 years old.
Well,
Okada's
hell,
not
Okada don't need to go to Ring of Honor.
wasn't Okada?
I
by
know,
now?
I'm just
Okada's not going
putting
to
that
Ring of
as an
Honor.
example, like people who are
No.
content with Ring of
Nah,
Honor.
they're gonna make him
That's
like their
Shibata
Brock.
in a nutshell.
He's gonna be showing up. He's gonna be a mercenary, really.
And that's
A guy
fine.
that
If they
makes
do
it
that,
rain.
that's fine. If they do that, that's
Because that,
fine.
like say both of these talent, like regardless of whether the American audience isn't as familiar with Okada, we got a lot of sight of him through the years as we were building for both Forbidden Doors. So it's not like people don't know who Okada is. They may not know all the history, but the fact that they know who he is and he's an established talent, just like Mercedes is from her WWE days, them coming in and having something meaningful from the very get go instead of like say Jade was just fed jobbers. So and same for Wardlow, time after time, match after match after match, and it didn't amount to anything. But that's the thing when you're building a new star versus an established talent. And
You know what? Hey,
I
Jeremy,
think it.
Jeremy, I want you to take this. I want you to take this question right here, Jeremy, that Matt put out.
I was actually wanting to address that. The draft as it is right now. Well, excuse me. The rosters as it is, as they are. It's a soft split. There is no real hard brand split, which they could benefit from that at this point. Whether I think they kind of need to do a Red Rover kind of situation with both shows, so you know who the established talent is on each show, and that's the one thing we're not really getting right now. We don't know who's going to be on what show. I know we've all heard that whole idea from other people in this space. I think Collision on Saturday is just a rough time slot, though.
Collision
it
is a
really
rough time
is,
slot. It is.
and
You're going up
they
against a
could
lot of
benefit.
premium television on Saturday nights with the NBA and hockey, and then you got WWE when they do their PLEs and stuff like that. Saturdays is rough to get a spot.
Well, and here's the thing: what what day is SmackDown getting ready to move to? Have they talked
Tuesday.
about moving days
I heard
to Tuesdays?
Tuesday.
Well,
Tuesday.
shit, Fridays is not a bad day. Fridays would not be a bad day
It's
to
better than
move.
Saturday. I'll say
That
that.
yeah, it is
It
much
is.
better
It
than
is.
Saturday.
It is.
It'll eliminate that way you can have 3 hours. If you could even have Rampage live on like if you want to do if
That'd
you
be
want to do
crazy.
that, and that'll give a lot more people reason to have eyes on the product. But
Yeah.
because whenever it's taped, it just
I would
defeats
have Rampage open up
everybody's
Collision
desire.
before Collision.
Yeah,
Be like,
especially with
be
what
like
happened last
the
night with
fresh hour.
Hardy and Guevara.
That's
I
not a
heard.
bad idea. That's not a bad idea. No.
Yeah.
Um, But the whole thing is, it needs to be live. Everything that they put out needs to be live.
It would be cool.
Mhm.
Ring of Honor
Besides Ring of
excluded.
Honor, of course.
Yeah, I said Ring
Yeah.
of Honor excluded for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as there needs to be a hard brand split or a hard roster split. But
But no,
how
I
they're
feel
doing it
like
right now,
I
it'll
wouldn't
help
do
them
it
keep
draft
better
style.
track.
It would be too copycat like WWE. I don't want to see two drafts in one in each company, especially like
Two brand,
everybody in the
yeah,
chat. And WWE doesn't even stick to their own draft.
True.
And if
right.
AEW is
No,
going
they
to be the
don't.
alternative, then do split the rosters in a different way.
Well, and that's another thing. If they split it and do a
Just split them
hard
and announce
split,
it. Who cares about a draft?
yeah, split them and announce it. But I mean, whoever's on what show. But the whole thing is, if they want to make it sports centric, I mean, think about Major League Baseball. You've got the National League and the American League. You've got in the NFL. You've got what is it? The NFC and the
The
AFC.
NFC and the AFC.
Yeah, so you've got those. I mean, why not have colliders and dynamite and collision? Not
NBA,
however you
NFL,
want to
Eastern
like
Conference, Western
have a name to call them. Call whichever roster they're on, but no, have a legit split roster. And at the end, even then, that could kind of account for the Triple Crown tournament I've been talking about. I mean,
Yeah.
that could work a lot into that effect. It's just how you play it, and I think in a lot of cases, like continental or triple crown tournaments are not for lazy bookers, and that's and to much to TK's detriment. That's kind of how he's been throwing that. He's been putting some matches together, some good ones, but you can tell that there are a lot of plot holes and logic gaps, and to where it really seems lazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So. There's a lot TK
Best
can
Triple
do.
Crown, like the best Triple Crown champion matches are always best from like All Japan when they had Stan Hansen,
With
Masawa,
Masawa.
Steve
Mhm.
Williams. Those
Mhm.
those were their like big names for a time in the '90s as Triple Crown champion.
Yeah, those were the matches. I watched a few of those too, and man, just to see what they did in All Japan and even what they did in New Japan, man. I do feel like Tony kind of trying to incorporate some of that into AEW too, and I can always appreciate that. I can
Yeah.
definitely
Well,
always
and
appreciate
you
that.
say
To an
it's
extent,
got to be
like some of
effective.
that stuff is not like some of
Yeah,
that stuff is not for the American audience in their eyes as well. They just call it. Some fans can call it like too
Right.
stiff and too rough for like the viewing audience.
Who decides
Mhm.
that? I don't subscribe to that theory at all.
I don't know.
That's just
It's
from like
I don't know who decides
people
that.
who people
I don't know
I
who
used to know
decides
back
that.
back during the times I had on New Japan World. I made a few friends in that like circle on the app and the
Yeah.
streaming platform.
uh,
But some people, like I said, some people with that mindset, they're not for the better of the product in the end. You know, the betterment.
you don't
of
know
the
who the
product.
plumber is?
Mm-mm.
Who is the plumber? Who's the plumber? Mario? Super Mario? That's the only plumber I know.
I think we're talking about Eddie Kingston. Are we talking about
Eddie Kingston. He looks like a fucking plumber.
Oh God.
Wait, so he's the
All right, now we
continental.
go.
He's the continental.
Yeah, he's the.
champion?
Yeah, he's the
Doesn't he have ROH
is
gold
the
too?
Continental.
Yeah, they build the Continental Crown title as a Triple Crown title because when he won it, he already had the Ring of Honor World title and the New Japan Strong
Japan.
Openweight title.
Yeah, okay.
And like That's why I was thinking, since if Okada wants to continue those New Japan ties and mess with the LA dojo, he could go for that strong title that he's carrying and get him in the mix with that. Something
You also have
meaningful.
to remember who's the trainer at the LA dojo? Katsuyori Shibata, currently
And
young
yeah,
heavyweight,
perfect
all this
match.
AEW.
Uh,
Yep.
perfect, uh, yeah, perfect placement, if you ask me. Have him be in a
Mm-hmm.
position like, I mean, Kenny's not around right now. He may be backstage occasionally, but I like, hopefully
I
he's
doubt it.
staying
Not with
away and recovering.
diverticulitis. He's home.
Yeah, I hope. They were speaking of that. They were talking, and just we'll segue for a second. They were talking about having him stave off from having surgery because that would keep him out for obviously indefinitely longer. Even though right now there is no real timetable to his return, but they're trying to let it heal naturally, which
Mm-hmm.
not the worst decision, but I mean, given how bad it was, apparently it was just at those beginning stages where it was just becoming a very prevalent thing with
Yeah.
him. So I'm glad they caught it when they did. Um, but yeah, on back, swerving back to that. Um,
Uh,
I think that Okada could benefit from having something meaningful, but at the same time with uh, a Japanese talent. If he like we were talking about having him mix up with Takeshita and the Don Callis family, that would be an interesting take, an
That would be
interesting play
nice. I
on
would like to see
creative,
a
um,
Okada
because
Takeshita match.
again, and as I was saying earlier, that wouldn't be bad for the idea that they hate Kenny so much in that stable, led by Don. That would be such a death blow to Kenny, in a sense, upon his return, for the one guy he's got so much insane match history with. Over in Japan, to now be under the Callus brand,
Yep.
who is just a sworn enemies at that in
yeah.
that sense to the Omega legacy. So yeah, like I think that that would be an interesting play. It's just don't give him squash matches. Don't just feed him jobbers. Give him something meaningful. Same thing for Mercedes. Um, there are so many different options right now. Um, I honestly think Mercedes could benefit from not necessarily squash matches, but just some introductory, like welcome to AEW matches. Not
I
necessarily
would go with some
not
vignettes to get
gatekeeper
the
matches.
audience. I would do some vignettes like old school, like '90s vignettes to introduce them to the character known as Mercedes or Okada, and get them used to like seeing them on TV before they actually debut.
Yeah,
Maybe
I mean,
drop
it
it.
I like
wouldn't
that
hurt.
idea.
Yeah,
I
it
like that
wouldn't,
idea.
like how
I mean, they
NXT
already
used to
did
do,
little
or
mini skit for Mercedes by spelling Boston with two S's for the
Boss, ton.
yeah.
Just gave
Right.
it away. Just gave boss.
That kind of was a big fucking giveaway.
but
But
they
yeah,
like say they at this point for them to go into Boston to that big business show and not immediately just debut her like they like at the first dance they did with Punk,
I
it would be
set
doing
Starbucks in the
themselves a
time.
disservice because people are just gonna the fans are gonna hijack the show if they don't.
yep.
Um, but immediately somebody needs to not necessarily be fed to Mercedes, but give her a banger, a exhibition banger. Her like if she's gonna be it all. Sorry, I'm trying to avoid the sun. Um, she
German's
needs to
hiding from the
have
sun,
The
y'all.
match with the person
German's
she
hiding from
last
the
was
sun,
in.
y'all.
bite in the
I
sun.
personally would put
Yeah.
Mercedes in a match with Willow Nightingale.
Yeah,
That'd be a good match.
Don't run from the
Well,
light,
they got
Jeremy.
history.
Don't run from the light, man.
Don't go into the light, cameraman. Don't go into the light. Um, yeah. Pause. Give her a banger of a match. Just give her somebody she's got. She has good chemistry with, because obviously they're figuring out who she has the most chemistry with currently, like when they're with their training sessions when they
Right.
can. Um, don't want John Beal to hear that. Uh, um,
Oh,
but there's no way that they're. I really don't think that there's any way that Mercedes is going to come in and not be injected into something immediately. Like for her to come out immediately and then she just needs to be like, "Yep, you guys guessed it, I'm here." And then after a couple minutes of talking to the crowd and getting that, like immediately somebody comes out, whether it be Britt, whether it be Rosa, whether um, oh shit, who else could go? Like, I don't want to see Nyla. I
Sheeta.
don't want
Sheeta.
Maybe a
Sheeta.
returning Jamie
Um,
Hayter.
I think DMD
Jamie
is
Hayter
gonna
would
have
be a
some
good.
involvement, probably.
Hmm. But
It might
yeah,
be
Probably.
just
DMD that
considering
has
the
involved.
um speaking like segueing for a second, you guys all saw what I sent you or a little bit earlier about the Gabby Tuft.
Yeah.
Do you know who Gabby Tuft is, Kratos?
you'll have to enlighten me.
Huh?
You'll have to
He said you'll
enlighten
have
me. I
to
don't know.
enlighten him.
Uh, does anybody remember the from years past Tyler Rex from
Yeah.
WWE?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
turned into a woman, didn't he?
Tyler Rex had apparently an identity crisis. Whatever. I don't want to make any too brash judgments or assertions, but uh, Tyler Rex is now transgender, going as Gabby Tuft, and recently has been getting back in the ring. There are videos of her with training with Liv Morgan, Natalia, and a few other WWE wrestlers because she was considering returning to WWE. Like she was apparently having talks,
Yeah.
but from what I understand, as of last night, that is no longer the case because she was seen walking in with a couple other people to the venue at AEW. And like I say, Tyler Rex was never that bad of a wrestler, but he was too generic in a lot of cases. He never really did anything special.
Well, we all know what her first feud's gonna be.
What did I
Uh,
say? What did I say, Jeremy?
yeah, I it's hard for me to argue with that. It really is. Nyla is
I
probably
can
one of
see it.
her. I mean, she's been pictured with her, but I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know. I
It
had
might
to.
be
I was
good.
like, who?
Janice.
I was like, who is this? And then I heard the voice, and I was like, who is this Nikita Lyons looking broad walking into AEW? That ain't Nikita Lyons. And then I heard the voice, and I was like, oh, and then yeah, that's the old Tyler Rex. So,
Huh.
uh,
I heard that
He looked like
TNA.
Charlotte. Look, he looked like Charlotte Flair. Looks
a
like
little
Charlotte.
bit, a little bit, a little bit.
AEW's
But
gonna
no, I
have
just
their
thought that was
version of
an
Charlotte
interesting little
fucking
cat.
Flair, y'all.
Hmm. By
Oh
the
my
way,
I must, have
today,
been, I must have been out of wrestling for so long because I had no idea who Tyler Rex was until now.
yeah,
Because, like I said, it was around. I got back into wrestling at 2012, and
Tyler
and
Rex was around when you got back
I
into
was
wrestling.
I was out
Right.
of I was out of wrestling. I stopped watching wrestling that like after Owen Hart died.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
Tyler Rex was around when you came
Moon
back.
Dog.
I came back during like post Night of Champions 20.
I don't know that. I mean, AEW
Black
is a
belt.
more inclusive place that I would imagine she'd have a better chance of getting employed by. But I mean, honestly, I don't know what kind of chances that she has because I mean, TK doesn't need to be just giving anybody and everybody a contract. And even if you can wrestle, even if you're
Yeah, Tyler
good,
Rex
like
came in 2009.
yeah.
Yeah. Man,
So
hey,
I mean, if she wants to come
must
in
have
and be on Ring of Honor on the developmental brand, I have no
that's
problem
fine.
with that.
That's
They're
fine.
having a
But
tournament for the television title, the women's television title. So that might be why she's there,
that
maybe.
hey,
Hey, yeah. Yeah.
bro,
Hey,
Luigi Primo was awesome.
For Ring
Leave
of Honor.
Luigi Primo out of this.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
still
Oh,
wrestling,
no.
I think, right? He's still wrestling.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, he does. All right, we're gonna get into this steak, y'all, man. So, which basically is my way of saying we're at the last story that I got for you guys of today, man, and that is TNA talent written a very, very, very determined upset letter to Anthem, explaining their frustrations about Scott D'Amore. I mentioned in the
Wait,
last show that
wait, guys. Wait, wait, wait,
Scott
wait,
D'Amore has
wait.
followers and stuff. What's up? What's up, Rob? Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is a hot take, and I'm gonna stand on it. TNA is the new WCW. Stupid. Stupid.
I
No,
mean,
it's not.
that,
I mean, when you
You have
think
to. You
about
have
it,
to. When you say that,
I
you
can't
have to
argue
be
with that.
specific.
I cannot
You have
argue
to
with
say
that.
WCW like when they went.
TNA had a
about
hot
it,
streak
Yeah.
for a little set, for a little tiny
They
little.
did.
this
AEW
might
feels
be
like
this
WCW
might be,
Nitro from Panama City when Shane McMahon showed up.
Oh
Hey,
my
that was a
God.
I
good
mean,
show.
that's
That was a
exact.
good
Yeah,
show.
was surrounded by the pool. Yep.
I'm
So
thinking this. I'm
nobody
gonna have a
drowned.
hot take of my
Cool.
own. This whole Scott D'Amore being fired is similar to when Ric
Trash.
Flair was fired while still world champion from WCW, and then they bring in like this new guy who doesn't have any experience in running a promotion and wrestling, but he's just friends with people up top. Just like Jim
Yeah.
Herd was, just like Drew mentioned on Tuesday Night Titans. Jim Herd came in, no wrestling experience, no wrestling promotion experience, but
YouTube is
he ran a
retarded. That's why,
company,
man.
and that was it. His
YouTube
only small
sucks.
thing was a pizza company.
Death blows.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kratos. But my thing is, I said this in the last show. Scott Moore had constructed a lot of business with this talent and put a lot
And he
of
just
pieces in
signed like
place for
someone
where
else.
things can happen. And
He
I
had
think that
signed
Scott,
someone else before he got fired, another female from like the UK area, like
Yeah.
Harvey Hudson.
yeah,
She
yeah,
mentioned on her Instagram story she was coming to TNA.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
now I'm guessing she's reconsidering that more than likely.
yeah. I think
Probably.
a lot of people is reconsidering in TNA. Like I said, if it wasn't for Scott D'Amore, a lot of this shit wouldn't be going down right now. All because Scott D'Amore wanted to make TNA a little bit better. How fucking
The
selfish
partnership,
of a-
or at least letting Trinity and Jordan Grace come over for the
Well,
Rumble.
Let Jordan Grace come over. Trinity was a free agent, but yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
oh,
for
yeah. That being said, but no, just them opening the door for Jordan Grace, because Jordan Grace is probably relatively sought after in WWE and relatively
Yeah,
soon after
fits-
her,
yeah.
con-
he fits there
especially
like a
after her
glove.
contract's done now. Yeah,
Now, she
I
resigned.
would love
She
to see her
resigned her
there.
contract.
Well, yeah,
Because
because Scott was
of,
still there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now
Yeah.
it seemed like they were kind of using him as a bargaining chip to
Yeah.
keep talent.
Bro, they
and
signed
then,
Moose to a
Yeah, same,
9-year
we'll say
deal.
same thing for Moose. Yeah, same thing for Moose.
He's gonna retire there now. He's gonna be miserable, probably. Probably gonna be miserable.
Unless he
You don't-
wants
you
well,
don't know
I
the
mean,
guy.
he
really
can,
wants
he
out of
can,
his contract.
yeah, I mean, yeah, he can get out of his contract, and if they're offering it to, people who are upset
Moose,
about it,
Moose. You can you can pull the old Phil Brooks, just a little strangulation, get out of their contract. Scapegoat.
Yeah,
like
You
say,
got-
I
you
don't
got-
necessarily
you need a
think
good
that
scapegoat.
Moose.
Like Moose does have a criminal record.
I mean, but
Yeah.
he does have the, he
I
can
don't
choke
think
out
that would go well
Tommy
for
Dreamer.
him,
Nobody
that's all I'm
cares.
saying.
He can choke out Tommy Dreamer. Nobody cares. Cool. Scapegoat.
But the president,
Yeah.
of Anthem said if anybody wanted out of their contract,
Not everybody though. He said.
Well,
they
yeah,
didn't
not
take
Well, and
everybody.
what, but what, yeah, if anybody wants that, what does that do for Moose and people who like are at the top of that company right now and are very much disgruntled with the loss of losing Scott D'Amore right now? Because
Yeah.
he was
Bad
the
luck.
one, he was the one factor that probably kept them there. Aside
Yeah.
He
from
was the glue holding them, keeping them tied to
aside
that
from
company.
aside from making top tier revenue as their top performers.
Bro, I don't know
So,
how TNA makes money. I really
mean,
don't.
Damn,
I'm
Jen,
still
tell
Damn.
us.
trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to
I
figure
need
it
to know how TNA makes money
Merchandise?
because it seems like they make it with the simplest, but from a little venue that they do, like
out. Merchandise? Maybe.
It has to be merch sales.
Probably.
Ticket sales ain't shit.
I mean, Aces and Eights, man, they made millions. They made millions with Aces and Eights merch. I'll give them that. I bought
Yeah.
some 10 years ago. Now I don't know what Bullet Club. They have Bullet Club, Bay and whatever the other guy's name is, Ace. They have their little
Ace Austin.
merchandise, but I don't know who makes that merch.
Something
Yeah,
like that, yeah.
Ace Austin.
So
It has to be
like,
merch.
like I think, like, man, I'm not gonna say that it's going to happen, but it would not surprise me if 3 or 4 or 5 TNA talent decide to walk and go somewhere
Yeah.
else.
Well, and like
At
say,
this
how
point-
detrimental is that going to be? Like say, they're saying any talent that's doesn't like the decision can get out of their contract. What's that
Nobody
say for
likes the
Moose
decision, though.
and for Moose and Jordan Grace and a lot of the other top talent in that company who may be disgruntled? Like say, are they going to walk away and leave TNA high and dry because they like where else are they going to go? For one, they've been loyal for this long, but half of the reason they've been this loyal is because of Scott D'Amore. Now they don't have that.
Well,
So
TNA was his
regardless,
idea.
a lot of people might,
He's not there.
a lot of talent may just choose to cut their losses. I'm like, yeah, I may have. The only reason I'm really here is because of him. Now he's not here, so like regardless of like you said, Moose has a criminal record, and not a lot of people will really book him.
I mean, NXT,
So
WWE wouldn't even sign him because of his criminal record.
oh,
That should
right,
tell you something.
so.
Yeah,
But
same with
I mean,
Jacob Fatu.
man, in a lot of cases, it
I heard
seems
that
like a
they're-
lot
I
of
heard they're thinking about
other
signing
talent
him.
might be better off cutting their losses. But you know,
It's a bad look. It's
I
a
heard that
bad
Jacob
look.
Fatu was at one point like planning on me signing to WWE for the Bloodline story because like
Yeah, it's a new intro. I don't know why he played that.
either way.
2 hours, ladies and
I hear
gentlemen,
intro
2
music
hours.
loud.
2
Jacob
hours.
Fatu allegedly
Hey,
had
but
ties
that's all I
to,
got for you guys, man.
What happened, Hooli?
Oh, I was just saying, I hear intro or outro music in my ears.
Well, that's the intro.
Yeah,
That's
same
gonna be the
here.
intro for
Yeah.
the podcast.
Oh, are we
Yeah.
done?
Intro.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all
we
I
have 2
got.
hours. He has to go
That's
to
all I
work.
got
Ah,
for today's podcast.
Yeah.
So,
He has to go to
I
work.
mean, hey, do you guys have anything you guys want to say about what you guys may have got coming up this week or anything? I know Rob got a full fucking
4 live
plate,
streams.
a
4
full
live
fucking
streams.
plate again.
Friday,
And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be on his live streams
Sunday,
for a couple of them.
Monday.
Kratos, Jeremy,
Whippy
who
Rob
got anything
Tay-Tay.
going on this week?
Really just trying to make some money, make some moves.
I can't wait for
I
Monday.
will be
Is there a pay-per-view this
I
streaming
can't wait for
venting
Monday.
frustration. I'm probably gonna be venting frustration.
No,
on
no
Friday on
pay-per-view
Twitch.
this weekend.
No wrestling. No collisions.
I will be
Just
venting
basketball.
frustrations on Twitch through Destiny 2 if you want to stop in and watch.
Yeah, y'all make
Right
sure
on.
y'all go holler at my boy Kratos. Hooli, anything for you, Hooli?
No,
I'll put
y'all.
I'll
I'm
put
just
the name for
hanging
Twitch
out
in
with
the
y'all,
group chat.
so I'll be around.
All right, man. Well, hey, that's all we got for you
Oh
today.
wait,
here
wait,
at the
wait,
Big O.
wait.
What's up,
I
what's up,
forgot.
what's up?
I forgot. I always gotta say this after every live stream now, especially because Hooligram's here. Everybody, when you go work out, make sure you work out the tricep. Make sure you work out the
Yeah.
tricep.
Don't forget
Make sure
tricep
you-
day.
Make sure, yeah, don't just like Drew McIntyre says, don't skip that shit, man. Don't be like
Tricep.
some stupid
All that.
Pepsi guy from Chicago. Come on now,
Hey,
work
right
this,
all that,
work
man.
all this,
All that.
work all that, work all that, work all that, work all that. All right, I'll be live
Okay,
tomorrow.
Cody,
Right,
cry
now.
baby. Okay, Cody, cry baby.
Twitch and
All right, y'all, man. I appreciate everything.
Let me call the Wambulance.
I don't care.
Oh, get to Whamburger and some French fries, motherfucker.
Yeah, Whamburger and French fries.
Oh yeah, I hate the 49ers. I'm not a Cody crybaby. I could care less. His stupid neck tattoo
All right.
killed my anything.
Ladies
for
and
it.
gentlemen,
So,
I'm
All
out.
right,
I gotta
guys.
go.
Look, hey, that's all we got, man. Hey, on behalf
Deuces.
of
All the
Deuces.
Twitch,
Yeah.
y'all, when you get a chance.
my bro Rob, the bro from the Mole,
Take care, Cat.
Kratos, even Patrick Palmer, y'all, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, press that bell for all notifications, and come join the resort, man. The Bay Bay Resort, man. Throw them ones up. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Hey,
my ex up. Shit. I'm
no, don't throw that X up. Don't throw that X up.
Yeah,
Don't
Hold
throw
on.
that
Kratos.
X. Straight up,
hey,
Kratos
X
knows
down.
what
however you
Wakanda
want to
forever.
support the channel.
Wakanda forever.
However you want to support the channel, I don't care. You can donate down there at the Cash App at the bottom, man. one more time. My bro already left. I don't know why he left, but he left a little too early. Follow
He said he
my
had to
bro,
go.
the bro from the Mo Jeremy, Mid Most Smart, Rob, Bay. You see him. There's his YouTube handle right there. There's also his Cash App if you want to donate to his channel, and if you want to donate to the bro as well, man. Listen, I had fun. I had a blast. Every Thursday at 3:30, we finna do this. We finna do this every Thursday at 3:30. And I know Robbie at work, but if you can come in, the link will be there for you, bro. Always. Same thing for you, Hooli, and also for you,
Right.
Kratos, and always for Jeremy
you,
as
bro.
well. Guys, that's it. It's your boy BiggOh. This is the BiggOh wrap up.
Work on your triceps.
Hey.
I'm out.
Good night, chat.
Yeah,
Have a
work
good
on the
night.
triceps. All right.
Deuces, yo.
Jen, Rage, Patrick, Blake,
Hey,
JP.
you
Latin
guys are
Matt.
some nuts, man. You guys are some nuts, man. We up out of here, man. Deuces, ooses.
OTS
Go.
for life.
OTS for life.